I'll wait till a few people get in the stream.
Yeah, of course, mate. Take your time.
Don't want to talk to no one. Still says there's no one here.
Oh. Oops. Oh, I'll look at the stream. Leon Bentley.
I don't know your full name, so I can't say yours.
Lewis Howard.
There we go.
Yeah, people are pulling in now.
Is there any echo? I think it's from your side. Is there any echo? I think it's from your side. Is there any echo?
Yeah, there is.
Well, there is a bit.
I think there is, yeah.
I don't get
I don't know
why.
why, because nothing's...
No, just mine's fine with anyone else.
Wait, I'm going to say something just on the stream, and then I'll unmute my mic so it doesn't like go through. Does that make sense?
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll sort it out for the F1 stream. Hold on.
We'll see if it's like doing it now. I don't think it's my voice that is. I'll change it if it is.
I think it's all good, mate. It's all good.
It could be when you speak, I don't know.
I don't know, I've never had it before with anybody else either, so... Because I have obviously a sound cancelling headset, so it wouldn't be the voice through my headset into the mic, if that makes sense, because I've moved it. To be honest. But yeah, no, it should be alright. I think I've just checked it and there's no issues, so... Yeah, whenever you want to commence, I guess.
Alright, so after about 3 minutes of us trying to fix our difficulties, welcome to PSGL F1 for round 1 of season 23, Australia to be specific. Not a full grid, we don't have to go into details why, but today it's myself, Leon, and joined with me is Lordy as per usual for this season.
Yeah, hello everyone, back again from the pre-season. I got approved by my manager to come perform on every Monday night for the rest of my life, so it's a pleasure to be here, Leon, as always.
Indeed, as I said, there is not going to be a full grid, but we're not going to say, so there will be 19, which is better than most of the leagues. I think we're going to get underway momentarily as well. I did put something out on Twitter, on my Twitter, saying my top 3 predictions, which I can't even remember. But I think I said Louis would win, and then followed by Rafa, Onyx. That's my top 3 prediction. I don't know if you've got one yet, Lordy, or...
Well, I think the top 2 favourites, regardless, especially from the pre-season, has to be Louis and Rafa. The Renault duo looking very mighty. You know, Banana Drama or whatever they want to call it, or whatever it was called, that show. Them 2 beautiful Renaults looking very feisty this season, but I'm not too sure who's going to challenge them, to be honest. I don't have the data necessary to actually pick out anybody else who could challenge these 2. Obviously, it is the first race of the season. Bahrain is a lot different to Australia. Not as much of a traction track, very difficult on this game, even after the update. So maybe it might spice a few things up, maybe close the pack together, Leon.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know if you said anything about rain, but...
No,
it could be rain.
Australia's normally bright and sunny, so I don't think the rain will be coming, but there's always a chance, like with any Grand Prix, so I'm not too sure.
If we can have a race like F3, that was quite entertaining last night. Some last lap punctures by a few people, I won't mind that. today.
Yeah, hopefully not. The F4 race was very interesting as well. I think we had 14 runners in the race, and I think 8 people, 8 or 9, 8 or 9 people finished. And some people just doing ridiculous strategies that ruin their race, some people taking others out, and some people just completely bottling it in some of these fast-paced corners, especially that chicane. It catches so many people out, it's a joke. So, you know, my advice to these drivers would be just be hesitant through there, because, you know, you may think you're God, you may think you're Michael Schumacher, but even Michael Schumacher makes mistakes, and that chicane is deadly.
Indeed, in about 10 seconds we'll find out the weather. I am actually slightly hoping either quali or the race is raining, just to throw some things about. It's a dry quali at least, I don't know about the race. But I think with it being dry, my pole prediction will have to go with Louis.
Yeah, I'll say Rafa then, just to not keep it the same. But I don't know, I'm just looking at the history of some of the drivers around here. There's not really anybody, I say, who maybe Blizzard on his day could probably challenge around here. Onyx is normally pretty decent, but if we're judging by Bahrain, there's not a lot of competition for them top 2 spots really. That's these two.
That is very true, but we don't know. I've only seen a few screenshots and things from Twitter, so anything can happen. And everyone's selected the softs on my screen.
Yeah, on mine as well. People are coming out. People on outlaps, they're all on softs, just seeing everybody pile through the pit lane. Yeah, it's all softs, so maybe people might try the alternate strategy, but I think the optimal strategy is softs to hards. I think a lot of people have, you know, optimised that strategy and want to run it in the race, so it could be a very stale one in terms of strategy diversity, but it's definitely going to be one for the ages, I think, this one.
Definitely, always round one of a season, always has a few spicy moments, I'll say. But also another thing that could happen is could be raining. If everyone's on the softest tyre, no one's even going to attempt to qualify on a slower tyre. It could be rain.
Yeah, it's a good point. Rain is always a prime factor in most races, but you know, I'd hate to see some of these drivers in the wet. You know, just to label a few. Big C. Oh, it's like watching a donkey on ice. It is disgusting. And it is awful. You don't want to see that go around in the wet. Obviously, Louis is not too great in the wet himself. I think Ash Best is another one who struggles in the wet. So if we see wet weather, there's going to be carnage.
Indeed, do you want to quickly go on board with Ash's lap? He's currently into turn 3.
Yeah, of course, Ash obviously in the McLaren. Carlos Sainz had a very good performance out in Germany, so let's hope Ash Best can replicate it with a lovely P5. I think that'll be very satisfactory for him. But, you know, Ash Best, he doesn't settle for 5th places, he wants the glory, he wants the gold, and at the moment he's looking very smooth coming through the middle sector. It's a very tricky right-hander. It's sharper than people thinking to get the braking point just right, just so you don't clip too much that outside curve. Is very, very tricky, especially on traction. But as we come now into the start of the 3rd sector, into the chicane, the dreaded chicane, as we once saw Jarno Trulli bin the Toyota back in 2007, I think it was, when he binned the Toyota. A very famous crash going through there, as we see through the final couple of corners. Now it's very raggedy from my perspective. He's going on the curbs a lot, but he's definitely very aggressive in this lap, so I don't know if it's a banker or if he's going full throttle. But Ash Best, he's a prime man, and here he comes now with the DRS flap wide open, and he comes across the line. It's going to be a 1:19. No, it's a 1:20.1 for Ash Best. Not too bad off the start, but Rafa blitzes it with a 1:19.7.
Yeah, as expected, we did say the Renault's going to be dangerous. Francis down in the 21s. No, he's not actually. He's just into the 20s, but yeah, we kind of expected it from the Renault pair to be up there, and Rafa's certainly showing that already.
Yeah, I think the next one to cross the line will be Alfie in the Williams. This man doesn't know what car he's picking. He changed his car like he changed his underwear. As Alfie crosses the line now, it's going to be a 1:22.6. So that man needs to Definitely a change of underwear after that. Shocking of a lap.
Definitely. Anyone else who's next? I think it's KB. Yeah, around the final corner. New, or not new, but back in PSGL after quite a while, and sets a 20.9.
Yeah, just watching Gamer come across the line now. It's going to be a 120.2. Not too bad banker laps. A low 120 is nothing to snuff at. That's a very good lap at the start. When you've got the likes of Rapper setting a 119.7, it is scary because that's the first lap of the session. The track's not even rubbed in yet, and the temperatures obviously are probably at the lowest. So very, very scary that man is in the Renault.
Yeah, definitely. Louis hasn't set a lap. I don't think he's even come out the pitch yet, so we can't see his pace for now. Paco, no, I don't think anyone's on a lap at the moment except for Big C.
Big C, yeah, the 7-time champ. Because we don't know how many titles he's won ever. So it never gets mentioned, ever. But no, Leon, I think I'll give you the reins now. Take us through.
Okay, so the 7-time champion, in case you forgot, coming through the middle sector. I don't believe he's the biggest fan of Australia, but he has won here a few times in the past, especially on season openers. So perhaps he can get it again as he comes through the middle, about to finish the middle sector up into the fast chicane of 11 and 12. Hits both apexes perfectly and doesn't take too much of that outside curb. It does tend to spin you if you take much of it. And now that is the last DRS zone until the start finish straight. Takes this final few set of corners quite nicely. Wants to stick to the inside very nicely for the third to last corner. Now the penultimate corner, quite a sharp corner. You kind of want to take as much speed as possible, but it's not easy. Now through the final corner, opens the DRS. Will it be a low 20 like everyone else? 20.4, not bad.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good from Big C. Like I say, he's been struggling immensely in the practice sessions, getting a bit frustrated. Obviously, that man is used to success, and over the upcoming years and years that have just passed by, he's not exactly been the top dog, as they say. So maybe he has to just accept that he's not the best anymore. But he's definitely giving it a good go.
And he's still F1 pace, so you know he can still get a few victorious moments, perhaps, if luck goes his way.
Yeah, luck is probably a 50-50 factor in F1 races. My F4 race was torn apart by an unfortunate circumstance. The BSC came out and I pitted a lap of 4, so everybody got a pit stop on me through the BSC. And obviously I had hard tyres on, pitted lap 6. Carried them to the end to try and get a massive undercut, and it would have worked, but obviously the BSC just ruined everything for me, unfortunately. But it helped out others like Shoaib and Powdy, who finished P1 and 2 in the Scarlet Ferraris in F4, so congratulations to them as well.
Yeah, I'll just say congrats to Fran, not the Fran in this lobby, the one in F3, for winning F3, and I don't know any other results, so don't ask.
I know F6. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
Legend.
We've slept since then. Who's next on a lap then? I think it could be Rafa, but he's got traffic of Chiff Chaff. Oh, he's hit Chiff Chaff. Oh. Will anything happen there? Rafa's got wing damage and Chiff Chaff's not got a penalty for it, but he could do after the race. That was very, very ignorant from Chiff Chaff there.
Yeah, Chiff Chaff in the way, not for the first time, that has to be said. And Rafa looks disheartened and probably a bit annoyed in that lovely helmet of his that he's got. Chiff Chaff just came out of the pits. Rafa just about to start a lap, and obviously turn 1 can only fit 1 car, and when you try and go 2 into there, it doesn't work. So poor old Rafa back to the pit. The only consolation is he is currently P1 still, so he's got that going for him.
Got a lot of yellow flags going on. I don't know why, but anyway, anyone on a lap? I mean now.
Jay, sorry, he's just gone P2 for the 16, 119.8. So Jay in the Alpha. Normally quite good old Jay bottled the pre-season, but it's a very good lap from him.
Ashbest is currently on a lap, but is currently down by a tenth and a half. I'll still keep on board. There's Chiff Chaff again. Is he going to get in the way again? Oh no, he gets out of the way for Ashbest. Will Ash finish the lap? He does. Carry on.
Yeah. Sorry, just a spark of the chicane, like I've said, very, very deadly. He's just nearly lost it on his flying laps. The spot coming in sixth at the moment, but unfortunate for him, he's had to bail out.
And also on the lap, Onyx isn't. I believe Louis is. Louis in the first sector, so we'll keep an eye on him. Fran's backed off as well. Lickle, I think.
Cherry Dew Pie is on a lap in the first sector. Looked very scruffy though, so I'm not really sure how this is going to go down for him. You know, a lot of the session left, so if I'm put on a fresh set of boots and go back out, but very disappointed, I think, at the moment for Cherry Dew Pie.
Yeah, McLaren's one quite up the grid, one quite down. Here comes Lickle around the final corner in the Ferrari. Can he get anywhere up the grid? Can he get into the 19s? No, he can't. It is a 20.1, however, and it puts him 6th.
Yeah, very impressive for Lickle. He's been said Black Big C. As we see Toro Rosso's at the wall at turn 1 and turn 2. So
yeah, I saw that.
Having a bit of a wave to Lickle, I think, going past. But I think this man Louis
got second.
Oh, look at that! Look at the splits. Ooh.
Renault 1-2 as we predicted, but I think the opposite way around to what I said.
Bone chilling is the word I'd use. That is, you can't even put nothing between them. Scary, and they're a duo as well. So just think of the constructors.
A walk in the park.
The fastest cars on the planet. Don't quote me on that. It's supposed to be. But that is, like I said, bone chilling. The Renaults are taking the league by storm. But saying that, the Alfa Romeos, you know, not too bad themselves, 3rd and 4th. So there may be a constructors battle on the horizon.
There could be, yeah. I think for what news is coming through on the chat, I believe Cliffy has won F2. So congrats to Cliffy.
Well done for Cliffy. I did predict he'd get a podium. I also predicted Maxi Luca would crash, and he retired. So
got both right.
Yeah, I know. If you want the lottery, doing for you, mate, just send me your bank account details. I'll happily put some on for you, or your PayPal, whatever you want. But no, Gamer, I think, is the man on track that's closest to actually finishing a lap, as Alfie completely destroys part of the track. Completely gutted. A man who has definitely got the potential to be up there, but maybe just not feeling the groove at the moment in that Williams.
Maybe not. Gamer is actually getting a toe off Jay. I don't think Jay is intending that, but I think Gamer will take it. And it's currently by 2.5 tenths, so at the moment this lap will put him up into 5th as Moyo flags in sector 3. I don't know what for, but I'll keep on board with Gamer. I've been in F1 for plenty of seasons. Did very well. I believe it was in season 21. Season 22 was a bit of a drop off. But let's see if he can bounce back here with this lap. What will it be? Will it be anywhere near the Renaults? It will be a 19.9. Puts him 4th.
Yeah, well done from Gamer. Splitting the top, the Alfa Romeos, I should say, for 3rd and 5th. And did he finish 3rd in the championship? Very well. I think it was just behind. Did Big C finish 2nd? Or am I on the right one? They were teammates, weren't they? In the Red Bull.
Gamer finished either 3rd, 4th, or 5th last season. I think he came. I don't know where he came the season before that. I know he's been in the top 5 twice in a row.
Yeah, he's a very consistent driver of his game. He may not be one of the luxury drivers that we've come to see, you know, like Louis and Rafa on this game, you know, Blizzard, the previous games, and then Ash Best further down the line. You know, these drivers just have the full package on the system. But no, he's always been consistent and he's always been up there, good old Gamer. And yeah, hopefully he's looking to replicate another very good performance here with a 19.9. So yeah, Onyx on the lap as well, just coming in the final sector. He is looking to beat his teammate and Gamer, and maybe even one of the Renaults is looking quite fearsome from him at the moment. Oh, hesitation through the last corner though, if you just Flip that then, Leon. Let's see where
No, I
it
didn't
puts
catch it.
19.6. He goes pole.
Wow.
Whew. Fantastic job from Onyx right there. Let's see if anybody else can replicate it. Just having a look through now. If anybody else is on the fast lap.
Rafa. No, Rafa's pitting. But yeah, Onyx, after you said he had quite a shaky final sector or something like that, he still goes and smashes it. But I think the Renault still have another package they are hiding.
Yeah, he was very hesitant through the last corner. He just lifted off the throttle a bit too much for my liking, but he definitely got good traction out of the final corner, so it might have been strategic from himself. Obviously, P1 is a fantastic job from him because Rafa and Louis have been the titans of the league so far. The ones to beat, and for him to just put it above not just one of them but both of them is a feat in itself.
It certainly is. Who's on the outlap? So you've got Chiff Chaff and Cherry. Cherry will be the first one to start a lap, or Cam, or whatever we all want to call him.
Cameron Anderson. Doesn't that name just make you smile?
No comment. You can go through his lap, as he's not exactly had a great lap so far, being down the order.
No, I'm not really sure what he's playing at either, to be honest.
No.
There's a final corners right there, mate, and he's still weaving it about, so whether his brain switched off halfway through the session, he's going to get absolutely horrendous exit. So he's already compromised his lap before it's even started, but here he goes, coming into turn one. Hopefully no traffic gets in his way. Oh, it's already over. It's already over. A massive snap of oversteer, completely cut the corner. And Cameron Anderson, one to forget, I think, this qualifying session.
I think he can get another lap in if he's got the fuel for it. So we'll go on board with Chiff Chaff, the other person who's just started a lap. Hopefully he's going to be a bit more successful than Cam.
Yeah, hopefully. As he approaches turn 3, very, very tightly through turn 3 and turn 4. Chiff Chaff always loves using the extra limits of the track to extend his car as much as possible. And here he goes. I got taught once by a special man called Aaron, make your car as wide as a bus, and Chiff Chaff has to be one of the masters in this league of doing that. His car just takes up the width of the track. He drops up slightly to the front right, they come in just into the end of the second sector. And here he goes now, passing Poe, who's obviously just on an outlap, but straight through the chicane. Very fast in and very fast out. Chiff Chaff really wringing everything out of this Haas car. I think that DRS actually a bit late as he weaves through the traffic. People absolutely everywhere. Poor Chiff Chaff's got not just his lap, but people to contend with as well. As we see, Lee Finley, probably not in the best position there, mate. It's probably compromised Chiff Chaff's lap, but it's looking very tidy and clean for the moment. Here we go through the last corner. A slight bit of pick of oversteer as he enters the start finish straight, but here he comes now. It's going to be a 1:19.8, and Chiff Chaff goes P4. So not a bad lap from Chiff Chaff.
Yeah, not a bad lap considering he did have traffic from Lee Finley and was a bit hesitant into the final corner from what I did see. But now the final set of lap times are coming through, and I guess this is game on. The top 11, half a second. So it could be anyone's this.
Yeah, it could be. The man to look out for is Francis down in P16. He's just about to finish his lap through the final corner right now. Francis, beautiful final corner, opens the DRS very, very gracefully as he enters it, and it's a 1:20.5, so it's not even that good from Francis.
No, it is only 14th, and that is it for his qualifying session. I think next is Paco. Paco is Chris for penultimate corner now, hasn't set a lap time yet, along with Blizzard. Blizzard's also, I think the next one's crossed the line after that. Through the final corner, what can he do? Will he be in the 19s? It will. The 19.9 puts him in 8th, whereas Blizzard, oh, actually isn't him. It was Alfie, and Alfie didn't improve. So next is Blizzard.
Wide. Oh no, he's messed it up. He's messed the lap up. I don't know if he was pushing a bit too hard, but it should be a good lap anyway from Blizzard, but not what he wanted.
14.
Yeah, P14.
Next, I think it's Big C coming for the final corner. From what I saw, he's only up by half a tenth. So not a big of an improvement, but could get him up the grid. It's going to be a 20.3 and lost all of his time in the final sector.
Yeah, across the line, force injury of Poe doesn't improve either.
there's a bloody graveyard going on in the middle sector.
Oh, and Lickle's gone second.
Wow.
In the Ferrari, 4/10 of a second he found on that lap, and Licklebox pulls an absolute worldie. Set of 116 points, 119.6, not 16. And yeah, fantastic job from him. And Onyx is the last one, but he's already pole, so I don't think he will care.
Yeah, he's already pole. On his debut,
wow.
but Lickle. Out of nowhere.
Yep, we've got Gamer's car. I don't know if he's binned it or what. I think he's binned it.
His front right's not there. His front right's off the... not in a correct position.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Gamer. Maybe on his final lap he's binned it trying to push the car a bit too hard, but surprise of the evening has to go to Little Blocks with the that's a fantastic performance. Obviously Gamer, if he's pushing on his lap, I don't know, he won't get fresh tyres because he did not set the lap on them. So Gamer still in the same boat as everybody else, just with a peculiar placed car, would you say?
I'm going to back up my point with I think it's going to rain, because I've seen these drivers with screenshots be a lot quicker than that on the same tyre. So
yeah.
I'm wondering if they're perhaps on a wet cell, because we've not been informed of any wet. So anyway, Lord, do you want to quickly go through the grid?
Yeah, of course, mate. Obviously, chance of rain, so we're not too sure of the pace as well for some drivers. But as it stands, we have Onyx on pole with a 1:19.6. Fantastic lap from him, pulled it out of the bag. But this man here, Lickle Blocks, doesn't know where he's from, apparently according to his flag. But he set a 1:19.6 as well, only 500ths of a second off pole position in P2. We have Rafa third, Louis fourth, fifth Sparks, sixth Gamer, seventh Chipchap, eighth Jay, Paco in ninth, and Lambo rounds off the top 10.
Yeah, something that Gavin Alamonda, the one of the previous F1 commentators, just pointed out that quite a few of the F1 newcomers are rather high up on the grid compared to the people who've been here for a long time. So perhaps it's the experienced lot haven't got the pace coming through yet, and the newcomers are showing their young talent.
Yeah, it could be so. We're seeing new drivers in real F1 as well come through. You know, Lando Norris, Alex Albon, just to name a few that are sticking out. And maybe we're going to see a young Alex Albon in Onyx take the checkered flag and do something with it. Obviously, Danny Kvyat got P3, so anything's possible in this sport. But yeah, it's definitely thrown a spanner in the works. We thought Louis would be a bit better. He's definitely my hope for a race win, but clearly not finding the pace around a difficult track that is Melbourne.
Yeah, that is true. I'm going to check the F1 chat quickly just to see if anyone has mentioned rain, but no, no one has, but it is very overcast, so there could be rain on the way. I don't know, but as the formation lap begins, let's have a look at the people outside the top 10 and their tyres, and it is an array of changes, so I think it is going to be dry, which is a shame.
Yeah, definitely a shame. Obviously, from the neutral standpoint, we like to see drivers in all conditions if possible, just to express their talent on the racetrack. But let's hope that the rain, or sorry, should I say, the weather won't affect this race too much, because we want to see some fast cars drive very quickly around this track. And Little Blocks, you know, just for that qualifying lap, I'm gonna change my answer for race win, and I'm gonna put it on Lickle. I'm gonna take a gamble and put it on Lickle.
That is very bold. I'm gonna say Rafa is gonna win. I'm gonna stick. Well, no, I did say Louis originally, but I'm gonna change it to Rafa because Louis didn't look too great. He looked the quickest, but has only qualified fourth. So, and he's going to try and get through three cars that are equally his pace to try and win. So I'm going to go with Rafa.
Yeah, I think driver that's going to most effectively use the alternate strategy, I'd say, is going to be Alfie. That man in the Williams currently down in P18 with Killer Zone and Francis lingering at the lower levels of the grid at the moment. But I've got a feeling Alfie's on them hard compounds, so he may get swamped by a few of these medium runners. He is on the hards, and that man is a strategist. And I know Alfie very well, so I think he's going to pull something very, very wondrous out of the back tonight.
He could do. One strategy I'm slightly confused by is pose, because he's on a set of softs and he's in the middle of everyone who's on a mediums and hards, so going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, very true. Maybe he's going for the most aggressive strategy possible, which is the softs to mediums. Especially off the start, the softs on heavy fuel is obviously the easiest option to drive at the moment. But Poe clearly not confident in that racing point and opting for the softest compound, maybe to dispatch some of this early traffic. You never know, Leon. But anyway, take us to the start.
Gladly, when the lights do begin. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And away we go for the start of season 23, and it looks like Onyx has got a fairly good start to Lickle. Rafa's already passed Lickle into turn 1. Will he track around the side of Rafa? Not Rafa, Onyx, sorry, no he doesn't. So the top two stay the same. Everyone seems to have kept it clean coming into turn 3. What about the middle to the bike, Claudie?
Yeah, looking from the back, everybody's very close. We've got Poe on the inside of Big C and Cherry 2-Pie, making it 3 wide. A bit of contact on the Mercedes and on the racing point, but everything seems pretty clean so far. As Rush has best go around the outside of Blizzard for P13 and P12, and Blizzard's kept it in. And nearly an aeroplane crash for the McLaren in P13.
Oh, Chief Chaff has pushed Louis off the track. Louis off into the gravel. And he's down in 14.
Oh no, it's horrendous. Oh, it's absolutely horrendous. Look at it. It's a blockage.
Oh my.
It's a blockage of cars. They're everywhere.
Oh, Chief Chaff is now ghosting.
Oh, round the front, the racing point in the middle. It's Poe. Is it Poe?
No, it's Sparks.
No, it's Sparks. Oh no, it's gone horribly wrong. It was so clean from the start, and now everybody's everywhere. There's a Toro Rosso that's hit the wall as well, going through the chicane. Oh, people are cutting corners left, right, and centre. It's horrific.
Jesus, what has happened there? I'm going to try and keep me bearings. Sparks is going down the side of Jay. Oh, argy-bargy stuff for the penultimate, not penultimate corner, final sector. Sorry, Sparks has lost it. He's in the wall. He's going to come back on the track. No, he's not. Oh, this is carnage in the midfield.
Yeah, carnage in the midfield. Just to let you know as well, Lickle's made a mistake in the final corner and given up heat 2 to Rafa. As we're watching the back markers just create absolute mayhem on the first lap of this Grand Prix. Look at the pit lane, out in force. There's front wings, tyre changes. There's even probably fuel changes as well going on down there. You don't know what's really happening. But just the biggest gainers so far has to be Cherry 2-Pie and Poe. Poe on the soft tyres has done an absolute masterstroke and up into P8.
Yeah, that is very true. I doubted his strategy, but I'm guessing he's got away with it. Alfie, one of the people you said could do quite well, has got himself up a few positions. The best battle to look for at the moment is probably Louis and Big C as they come up into turn 9. Louis launches it down the inside and gets the move done fairly comfortably on the, if you forgot, 7-time champion.
Yeah, and a move on Lambo and Paco as well. Gamer just before the chicane getting it done, but obviously Paco's going to have the slipstream and he's going to use the RS. He's up into overtake. He doesn't want to give this up. Down the inside goes the Ferrari. He's going to squeeze the Red Bull, but beautiful.
Oh, Alfie's off.
Lambo.
Alfie's off. He's lost it, and I think he's lost his wing on the exit of the fast chicane.
Oh, like I said, the fast chicane can catch out even the most experienced of drivers as fast as laps come through. End on end as Little Blocks currently has it at the moment. No, he doesn't. Oh no, yeah, he does. That was just the RS being enabled. So, Jesus Christ! I think the battle is first, fifth. What is it? Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Bloody hell! People everywhere.
Yeah, there's quite a big gap from Lambo to Gamer, so the top 4 have already just ran off with it. I think the rest of the grid are just to be fighting for the remaining points, but yeah, we'll keep above this battle for 5th for now.
Yeah, just bear in mind as well, just before any. Oh, Paco's nearly lost it. Oh, he's lost out to heaps of time, and here comes Lee Finley on the medium tyres, going up the inside and getting the job done. Oh, Poe's up the inside as well. Paco's going to try and keep that Ferrari nose in there, but no, Poe gets the job done, and Poe. Mate, Poe's doing an absolute ninja job. Paco, don't launch it up the inside, please, mate. No, he's not. He's a sensible driver, but definitely struggling on these tyres. No.
Oh,
Sector 1, that's a
Blizzard!
crash. Blizzard!
Blizzard's out. Oh, he's lost it going into turn 5. And KB's out
as well.
2 retirements in the space of 10 seconds, and they're in 2 different parts of the track. I don't know where KB's done it. I'm guessing he's done it at the fast chicane.
He's done it in the last sector.
On board with Chiff Chaff, yeah it is. Turn 12.
Right in the middle of the road. As we watch Louis get past Cherry 25 P9, that man is on a charge. He's raging under that helmet, you know he is. Chip Chap obviously pushed him off into the gravel, he lost absolutely heaps of time, and on these soft tyres, this man is on a charge.
Yeah, he will have to be. Louis is currently 12, almost 13 seconds behind the leader, and he was right next to him at the start, so he's got heaps of time to try and gain back.
Yeah, just to say as well, the top 3 within, 2 seconds of each other at the moment. I think they're even within a second. Now, about 1.5 seconds, and about 2.5 seconds separate the top 4. I think Littlebox has actually played this very smartly. He's let Rafa go just so he can challenge Onyx, because he knows Rafa's probably a bit quicker at this stage. Littlebox obviously clinging on with the DRS and racing his own race in P3 at the moment. He's just got to be careful because of the dirty air, because Gamer is on the hunt.
Oh, and Chip Chapp's
out!
Oh, he's lost it. Oh, going into turn 6, he's gone as well. So that's 3 retirements in not even 4 laps have been completed yet. Madness.
The fastest league in PSGL history. It's been claimed these drivers are the best pedigree we've ever seen. Oh, well, I doubt that, because 3 people are out already. Oh, miserable scenes at Australia with the retirements already, Leon.
Yeah, and one shocking one, I would have to say, is probably Blizzard. 2-time champion, back-to-back. Not many people have done that. And the new season, first race, and he's in the wall. First retirement. That's a shock.
Some people just can't hack it around Australia. It has to be one of the most unforgiving racetracks on the calendar, especially for wheel users around here. I have to admit, I'm on a pad, so I don't know how it feels, but a lot of these wheel users really do struggle in some of these traction zones. These medium speed corners really take the toll, especially on the front left around here. So, it's an absolute brutal experience, but with the guys at front showing everybody how it's done.
Yeah, definitely. Probably the person I think's been the smartest at the moment, as you said, would be Lickle, just hanging back. I think he's hoping that these 2 up front do battle, as Rafa, I believe, every lap is just gaining a little amount on Onyx, so I expect Rafa to be launching it down the inside in the next lap or 2. We've got Pose quite close to Lee Finley.
Yeah, like you say, people are going to be dive bombing left, right and centre. Poe obviously on fresh tyres as well, has to be said. Didn't start in the top 10 and opted for a set of softs, so it isn't a fresh set of tyres. But I just have to admire Louis. He's had an absolutely miserable start to this race from his grid position. And the pace this man's putting out is actually terrifying. I would not want to be on a grid with this man. His gear shifts are so aggressive, but they're so fluid at the same time. Just watching him go around the first sector is absolutely mouth-watering. As you see, a 3-second penalty for Francis, who's down in a measly 15th place. So not a very good afternoon for him.
Yeah, not a very good afternoon for, good evening for him, sorry. But yeah, not very good for him. Also, someone else who did quite well last season, so all the people who did quite well last season, they're flopping right now. Louis has got Paco in his sights. Paco's made another error at turn 6. Don't know whether that's just his nemesis corner or something, but I think Louis is going to get Paco. Oh, Paco with a big snap of oversteer coming out of turn 10, I believe. And now coming into the fast chicane. Carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say, like you say, Paco all over the shop. He's not been comfortable on these soft tyres, and he's really feeling the effects of them now. We're on lap 6, so the pit window is open for the hards. It has to be said, as Chief Chapel leads the session in despair. But Paco, Louis is just looking so mighty. Probably the first mistake I've just seen there, not putting the apex through turn number 13, I believe. So, Louis is looking mighty as Paco looks like a struggling pig.
Oh, Rafa's made an error somewhere. Lickle's right on the back of him. Lickle's a bit too far away to actually go for a move, however. He caught up somewhere in the final sector, so Rafa's made a slight error. but he's just within DRS of Onyx, so he's just been able to save his race, just. Oh, which yellow flags? Oh, is it Fran? I think it is. Yeah, Fran is off, he spun. Oh, Louis and Paco! And Francis is out the session, and Louis gets 8th. He gets Paco around the outside of turn 5.
Yeah, another battle that's underway as well is Blizzard, Lee Finley and Poe. Lee Finley getting held up an absolute treat on these mediums. I think if he had clean air, he would be a bit closer to Gamer, but Lambo's doing a fantastic job of keeping that Toro Rosso behind. And we've still got yellow flags in sector 3 as well. People have to be careful.
Lickle down the side of Rafa for P2. Oh! Very good save from Lickle there. Clips the rear right of Rafa and almost went spinning round. We know how delicate these cars are, even with the slightest of touches. So good save there from Lickle, and that's an early pit stop for everyone.
Yeah,
so they're all going for the hards.
Early pit stops for everyone. Just going back to that incident, I think Rafa did turn in a bit too early, a bit unforgiving on Lickle. Probably would have been a racing incident if deemed to be too aggressive. I don't think so. But you know, really, really strong stuff from Lickle Blocks at the moment. Is he being held in the pit lane though? I'm
not really looking at that right now. Oh, Lee Finley's just past Lambo. Lambo with a big oversteer moment out of turn 2. Poe's now going to try it around the outside. He's got definite overspeed on the Red Bull driver and has got the move up into what is P3 for now. So Poe with an absolute flying first 7 and a bit laps.
Yeah, Lickle held in the pit lane. Onyx has jumped him in the pit lane. So Lickle Blocks, unfortunate, it has to be said, for whatever reason, the Ferrari mechanics have not released him. And he is now lingering behind Onyx in the Alpha, but obviously Onyx has been jumped by Rafa.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. I thought Rafa was actually behind Onyx in the pits, so I guess Onyx has been held somewhere as well.
Yeah, crazy scenes. I think the next battle on track that's the closest is Cherry 2 Pie and Big C, or Poe and Lambo, but I think Poe now has been unleashed and he's going for it.
Yeah, he has also. You've got Louis closing in on Lambo as well. I've got a feeling the people who are on the soft servant pit now will be all stretching to the medium compound of tyre, which is around about lap 10, I believe.
Yeah, about lap 10. I think, obviously, if you want to do softs to mediums, which is a very aggressive strategy, as you watch Cherry 2 Pie on my screen, horrendously wide in the last sector. But if you want to do that aggressive strategy, I think it's lap about. What lap would I say? About 12 you want to be pitting, maybe 11, but I think it's too early. It's very, very aggressive as we see people in for all sorts of tyre changes. Poe's in, Lambo's in, Lickle's obviously jumping everybody, and Gamer's in. Is Gamer going to get Lickle? It's going to be very tight for turn 1. Ooh.
That could have ended very badly then, jeez.
Winning the game first. Jesus Christ. Lickle Blocks taking no prisoners. As we see Onyx and Rafa bridge the gap, so Lickle Blocks not heating up them hard as he would have liked.
No, and Gamer's now within DRS, so Gamer's actually not that far off. I think he has caught a little bit on the leaders. Onyx is looking like the quicker driver out of himself and Rafa. Rafa does have probably 2 cars to catch in his stint, which will be Cherry 2 Pie and Big C, so they could throw a twist, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, obviously some people opting for the most aggressive strategy. I think Louis would have gone conservative on the hard, but I think he's had to go for the aggressive strategy because of the incident he's had earlier on in the race. Louis obviously preserving his tyres very well at this stage, and he's not even losing time to Lee Finley as he comes into the pits on lap 9, so maybe I could be wrong, only unless he's going to take these mediums 20 laps, which is very ballsy if he does, but Lee Finley now has been released and has clean air to do the best he can to bridge the gap.
Yeah, he does indeed. I think the person we should go on board with for now is Rafa, as he's closing in on Cherry. Cherry could be a big factor in this race if he does battle Rafa, then Rafa's going to have a tough time trying to keep Onyx in behind. Onyx is quite close. Will he send it down the side of Rafa into turn 3? Yes, he will. This is technically battle for the lead. And there's Rafa now back down the side of turn 4. He tries it down the side of Cherry 2 Pie as well. They go side by side now through turn 5, and it looks like Onyx has got the move. Oh, and he tries it on Cherry, but Cherry's having none of it and shoves him onto the grass, as probably he's allowed to do that. So Onyx has to stay behind now. Rafa's going to try it around the outside of turn 9. Will he keep it in there? No, he doesn't. So Onyx keeps P4 for now.
Yep, cherry 2 pie, the cork in the bottle. The champagne wants to come out, and the champagne at the moment is consistent of 4 drivers because Lickle and Gamer are closing it a rate of knots on this as well. So this is definitely turned out to be a spicy race thanks to cherry 2 pie. I never thought I'd say that this season in F1. He's doing an absolutely brilliant job as Onyx goes round the outside in the 3rd sector. Is Cherry going to hold it on the inside? Yes, he is. Go on, boy. He's pushed him out wide as well, and Rafa's going to have the opportunity to go around the outside. Onyx very stressed. He's hit the back of Cherry, but he's going to maintain 4th position for the moment. Cherry obviously staying out as we've seen yellow flags in sector 2. But let's ignore that for the moment because Little Blocks is going for a move as well, probably into turn 1. Or is he? No, Rafa's got the straight line speed on everybody. Onyx is going to go for the move into turn 1.
He's out of turn 1.
Oh, let's go, Leon.
Rafa's off. Oh, he didn't go off. He got hit by Cherry. Cherry's off now in the background. I think Rafa's got a bit of wing damage. But Lickle's got the move. Rafa, oh, he was launching it back down the inside of Lickle. But yeah, Rafa, I think he's a big loser out of that. But and I think he also has wing damage. I'm not 100% sure, but he did hit the rear end of Cherry quite hard.
Yeah, Cherry 2 Pie being the blockage for these guys, obviously on the alternate strategy, so probably not his fault. Just trying to run his own race, and with a gaggle of cars like that, you don't want to lose 4 positions in a couple of corners. But Cherry defending quite aggressively, but I think very fairly. It has to be said. Onyx, I think, pushing the limits. I don't know if the stewards will have a look at that. Obviously, pushing him a bit too wide for turn 1. It was a bit late. But Little Blocks, like I said, hanging back and letting these two scrap it out. And Rafa now definitely has wing damage. We've just seen him through that fast left chicane, and Little is pulled about a 10th on him. But his straight line speed does look pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, so Rafa is probably going to keep within the battle, but he's going to have to be playing a bit more strategic like Lickle was in the first stint and just hold back. He has to be careful that Gamer doesn't try and go for a move as well. Yeah, Cherry's not exactly going to be a variable anymore. I don't think Big C will either. He's been able to extend a good enough gap, I think, for his stop. I think Lee Finley, however, after all that kerfuffle with the Cherry 2 Pie, I think Lee Finley, when he pits for a set of softs, won't actually have a bad chance. He's about 12 seconds off, and I think who's off?
Sparks.
Oh, Lambo.
Who's off? Lambo. Oh, poor Lambo. He's got a bit of a miserable afternoon, and now he's got no front wing. Or he's got a chipped front wing or something. He definitely hit the wall pretty hard. I don't know how he's kept that. If he has kept that. Yeah, poor old Lambo. I think some of these guys like Spark, Lambo, Alfie, lingering at the back trying to scrap a few points. It's been a miserable afternoon for all these guys.
Yeah, it certainly has.
Cherry 2 Pie, hold up Poe. Sorry to interrupt you, Leon. Poe is all over the back of Cherry. He's absolutely destroyed his hard tyres. That man is like a snail at the moment. And unfortunately, everybody's getting caught up in his slime as Cherry runs wide. Hit the chicane. And here we go. He's cooked the chicken. And Louis even here now to join the party.
Oh,
Cherry!
Oh, good save.
Yeah, very good save. ABS definitely playing a part there as you see him locked the front right. And Louis is going to have to go into the last corner. But Cherry's all over the place.
Good defending from him though, but Cherry does pit. And Louis lost even more time now to the leaders. And the leaders are all in one nice big train who are all catching Big C. I think Big C could become a variable in this race. He's being caught a bit quicker than I thought he would. So I think he'll be another spanner in the works for this race.
Yeah, I have to agree. Big C not having a bad showing actually. He's kept himself out of all the drama. He dropped Cherry 2 Pie because they were battling for a bit, and he's just running his own race in a healthy P2 at the moment. Obviously not net P2. He will drop down a few positions after he's made his pit stop, but he definitely will be on the softest compound, and will be 3 seconds a lap quicker than some of these guys. So Big C a lot to gain in this race so far.
Yeah, so there's a lot more to show. He could get all the spotlight like Cherry has done. Yeah, this train here for it's P3 but will be P1. Well, most likely I think come down to penalties. Lickle has somehow found some kind of pace. I guess he was kind of a dark horse for this race. There's a good chance of winning it. Rafa also, but he has got a bit of wing damage. Gamer as well, just lingering in the background. Sticks within DRS. been a bit strategic like Lickle was, so I think out of these four it could be anyone unless there's a crash, and then you never know.
Yeah, I think Gamer and Lickle are the biggest winners out of that sort of clash. I think obviously as we watch Louis, on the straight, just gets past Poe and absolutely breeze past him. He's got, I don't even know what that man drinks, probably injects Monster into his veins, but that man's just on a charge. Straight past Poe, easy move. But as you were saying, Leon, these drivers, anybody can win it, but I think Gamer and Lickle are looking the strongest at the moment. Just strategically, probably not using as much tyre grip as some of these guys, probably saving for later on in the race.
Yeah, one person I believe is not doing very well on the tyres is going to be Rafa. He's pretty much hitting every curb known to man, so I expect his tyres to be a little bit worn compared to the others. I don't know about when they all pit, I will check. They're all on the same tyre, lap tyre, 6-lap old except for Gamer, so Gamer actually has the freshest tyres out the lot, so we could see him with a little bit of a late charge towards the end.
Yeah, especially Ash Best and Lambo, I think part two. Lambo obviously had a spin. Whether he's got damage or not, I'm not too sure, but them hards must be absolutely buried at this rate. I think he did start on them.
Ash is on, he pitted on lap 1.
That's why then. But no, Ash and Lambo maybe making a meal out of P11. It's unfortunate to do with them because they did reverse starting actually P12 and 13 respectively. So yeah, they're not too far off where they started, but probably got caught up in the commotion that was Chiff Chaff on the first couple of laps.
Chiff Chaff, he's always looking for a way to get in the spotlight, and he's done it certainly again for round 1.
That man can't keep his hands off the spotlight. He did probably one of the most boring races in Bahrain. His individual performance was actually very good, but obviously had no battles with himself really. And then obviously he's come to Australia, got a very decent quali position and absolutely binned it and taken out one of the favourites to win the race. So obviously Chiff Chaff causing commotions, especially down at Renault. And Onyx is caught Big C and is gained and is pulled away from Lickle.
Yeah, he has, but I think I've got a feeling Big C isn't going to let this one up. He has got a few laps until he needs to pit, another 4 laps, probably at least, on these set of hards. So if he keeps Onyx behind, it's going to bunch up the pack again. Big C could be a little safety car for a lap or two, but I think Onyx may actually get him into turn 1. Onyx has got superior grip and superior speed. Will Big C defend the position? Not really, he does a little bit, squeezes him out a little bit, but I think Onyx has got the move fairly comfortably, unless Big C can fight back, but Onyx has got the DRS, so I do doubt it. So yeah, Onyx has got the move done, and Big C lets them all through, not all of them. He lets Lickle through, doesn't let Rafa and Gamer through.
Yeah, I think Big C playing a very strategic game, obviously. Probably couldn't let the Rafa through, didn't have enough road. But Big C trying to optimise his own race while also not hindering the guys around him too much. Because obviously one of the guys around him is his teammate. Obviously probably trying to block Rafa from Lickle so he can't get the slipstream, so Gamer can get in on this action as well. Big C, not been the best of teammates down the years, it has to be said. He did let me take a very special victory at Singapore back in the F1 days, but never one to shy away from a bit of selfishness, it must be said. But no, he's playing the number 2 driver tonight, and he's doing a fantastic job at it.
Yeah, he's been a literal boss, and Gamer's all over the back of him. So this could be an interesting battle. I think Big C will try and get Gamer through. If Gamer can get through, then that will be good for the Mercedes as Big C pits, so it'll have to be for a set of mediums.
Yeah, Big C, well, like we've said multiple times before, not been the best track for him, and it has, well, unfortunately, it has showed. Probably not at the pace he would have wanted, had some clean air, but luckily for him, kept out of all the scraps and actually should come out in a very respectable position because also pits. The only person going past Big C at the moment, I think, will be Jay and Paco. So Big C in a very good position now because he's on a fresh set.
Yeah, Lambo actually does pass him, and so does Ash. So he is out of the points, but there is a battle just ahead of him, so he can potentially catch back up.
Yeah. Big strategic calls down at Mercedes, letting people pass to optimise his own race and to hamper some around him has probably cost us a bit of enjoyment, unfortunately, because he's spread out this top battle, hasn't he, a bit. So, probably not the best for the viewers, and maybe a few dislikes or boos for BC as he separates the front runners, but I don't think it's over yet by a long shot.
No, as I said before, I think it'll come down to penalties. Onyx is starting to get a gap going though to Lickle and everyone else, but Rafa's starting to catch back up, and Alfie is out somewhere in sector 3, I don't know where. A safety car would be very interesting, but it is Codemasters on about here, so there won't be one.
I think it was the fast chicane in sector 3 again. I think he put it just coming in on the entry, and he's lost the rear end on them worn tyres, and Alfie's had a miserable afternoon. Obviously, predictions, we see yellow flags in sector 1 as well. So what's happened in sector 1?
Oh, I think it's Lee Finley. Well, Sparks is out. I don't know what's happened. Lee Finley's lost a lot of time as well. Double yellows. Sparks is out somewhere in sector 3. I think Lee Finley closed the one to sector 1.
Yeah, obviously I'm a bit lost actually scanning through everybody, seeing what's happened. You can see a slow moving car which is Alfie in sector 1, so that might be the cause of the yellow flag. And sector 3, like you said, it was Sparks, so I think binned it at the chicane again. So another victim at the chicane. You see more yellow flags in sector 3.
There's no one in sector 3.
Unless it's still Sparks' car.
Could be, but I don't see anything, so I don't know what's happened there.
No, I'm not too sure either, but like you say, I do think it was Lee Finley who's had an absolute mare somewhere down the line. He lost an absolute bucket load of time, and unfortunately for him, I don't know if he'll pit this lap. He will pit this lap, but Lee Finley, all the hard work he produced has gone to waste, unfortunately, with the Mercedes in turn 1.
Yeah, it has. I don't know where it'll come out. I think it'll come out in P6. As Rumble with Rafa is just closing on Lickle. Lickle seems to be struggling towards the end of this race. Gamer's still in there. This is a battle for second place. I think we could probably call that I think Onyx will win this race if he keeps to extend his gap. But I think for now Rafa's just going to hang back and wait for a straight to get the move done on Lickle.
Yeah, Lee Finley out the pit lane, like I said, in P6, just ahead of Paco. And I'm just going to sort out one thing, so I'll leave you to commentate further about 1 second.
That is perfectly fine, so we'll keep on board with the battle for second. Rafa seems to be getting tucked up nice and cosy behind Lickle's gearbox. We'll have a look at the ERS. Lickle has got a lot less, and Con isn't able to push. So coming through turn 12 now, Rafa's got DRS. Will he go for it down the inside or around the outside? It's going to be around the outside. He does go for it. Lickle with very nice defending though does keep the position for now. This allows Gamer to close back in, and it also allows Onyx to extend his gap in the lead. As they're about to start lap 20 out of 29. Still 9 or 10 laps to go of this race. Rafa, not the greatest final sector, so probably won't get Lickle into turn 1, but may get him into turn 2 unless he launches it down inside of turn 1, which he doesn't. Just hang fire a little bit. Coming out down into turn 3, he is close enough to go for a move, opens his DRS and pulls to the outside of turn 3. Can he get the move done? Who breaks later? It is Lickle. So slight wheel banging already slightly off the track, and Lickle does keep the position there. Very nice defending from Lickle, and Rafa has to stick in behind again.
Yeah, come back at a very interesting time. Obviously, Lickle blocks has gone under pressure, which is allowing Onyx to run away with the race. I thought we initially thought Rafa had damage, but obviously we've been proven wrong. He's going to go up the inside here, which is a fantastically brave opportunity. He just runs Lickle off the track there, but Lickle holds it in and maintains a bit of speed. But Gamer's round the outside, and Gamer's going to snatch P3 off him. So Lickle blocks mugged, absolutely mugged as we go into the fast left-right chicane.
Yeah, he has been the definition of mug. Now can Gamer go for it down the inside or around the outside? It's going to be down the inside. Doesn't carry as much speed though, so he doesn't... Oh, Rafa's off! He's in the wall, and that is definite wing damage that time.
Yeah,
Wow.
like you said, Rafa trying to hold it around the outside. He didn't really leave Gamer that much room. Gamer kind of backed out of it and he just ran onto the grass on the outside. And with worn hard tyres, there's no chance in hell you're saving that Renault. And Rafa, unfortunately, has shattered his dreams of a podium, I think, at this rate. And look who's behind him.
Yeah, Louis. I don't know if Rafa got away with it. I don't think he has. But I don't think he's definitely got wing damage. So now it's just a battle for P2 and P3. And I think perhaps at this rate, Louis could catch his teammate for P4. But yeah, we were on about Renault possibly getting a 1-2. It has been a Renault disaster class.
Yeah, I think Rafa is the downfall of his own doing, unfortunately. Just trying to be a bit too aggressive defending-wise, and obviously compromised his line going into the final part of the sector. And he's absolutely binned it on the wall. Luckily, he's not lost too much time, but obviously the wing damage is what's going to take its toll. And when your teammate's Louis and he's directly behind you, he's going to take no prisoners.
Onyx has just got a penalty. So I haven't checked penalties. I don't want to, but could be something big. I don't know.
No. Do you want me to check, but not actually?
Yeah,
say,
don't say. We'll keep the tension.
Ooh. We'll only do the top
3.
Yeah, see what Rafa's got as well, and see what Louis got. Okay, very interesting.
Okay.
I'll check again on lap 28, just to make sure everything's in check, but very interesting when it comes to penalties. I won't say too much, but let's just say it could be a deciding factor.
Very interesting. So, as we said about Rafa, he's definitely got wing damage. He's lost a good 2. He's losing a good 2 seconds a lap. Oh, he's lost it again. Rafa's race is going downhill, left, right, and centre now. I think his tyres are dead, and he's barely got a front wing, so he could retire the car. He might just pit, or he might just hang fire. So, meanwhile, I've got Big C who's just passed Lambo for P9. Now we've got Lickle still closing.
Sorry, it cuts out your mic, so I don't know if anybody heard that was for P9. Ash Best and VSR Lambo battling for the 14th time. As Big C is charging down an Alfa Romeo of Jacotex in P8. So Big C's turned this quite miserable performance into something quite special for himself. You know, P8 on a track that he's definitely struggled at is going to be fantastic. If you see him with the DRS flap open on the second DRS straight, and he's absolutely murked Jacotex, and Jacotex has no ERS either. But Big C's lost it. Big C's lost it.
No.
He's round. Big C, as I was just complimenting him for what a stellar performance he's put in, the commentator's curse comes out and the 7-time champion has locked his rear brakes and ruined his race. And poor old Big C will only get a point at this rate because Cherry 2 Pie's pitted for whatever reason, but you can't go for fastest lap because he's not in the points, so I don't have a freaking clue why he's pitted.
Yeah, that is very true. We do have Lickle who's closing in on Gamer. Oh, Gamer's lost the back end. Lickle's going to go for it now. Big snap of oversteer from Gamer there, and that has put Lickle right back in the mix. If he can get a good exit here out of turn 12, he's all over the back of that gearbox. It's a fairly good exit. Will he push it? No, he won't. He'll hang fire for now. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Carry on.
Yeah, very interesting from Lickle. Didn't put the ERS higher than node 1. So a bit of a mistake, I think, in my opinion, from Lickle. He should have closed the gap even more just so he was on the gearbox of Gamer. He is very close at the moment, but obviously the dirty air is going to compromise his exit. Whether he's going to turn it on now, he is in high, but so is Gamer. So he kind of cancelled out Gamer's mistake. I mean, unless he's going to have a run into turn 3. Lickle blocks, probably one of the worst drivers on traction, it has to be said. He does struggle when it comes to the traction zones. He's put it up into mix 1, so he's not going to go for it.
I'm slightly confused why he's doing this. All this, however, is just allowing Onyx to get away. So I think Onyx is definitely going to win this race, unless something dramatic does happen.
The Renaults have swapped as well, just to say.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
Rafa's, I think, lost it again, and now Lee Finley is all over the back. So Rafa, he had the solace in his hand, he had the world at his fingertips, and it's crumbled underneath him. Rafa in the Renault, one of the favourites to win the race with his teammate Louis, has absolutely destroyed his chances with just a little mistake. He was pretty solid throughout the entire Grand Prix. But one silly mistake can cost you so much, especially in the F1 Racing League, as he struggles through the fast left-right. And Lee Finley is going to go down the inside. I think he's just going to let him go. Obviously, the wing damage is just damaging him too much, and he doesn't want to lose any more places.
Yeah, he doesn't want to try and get rid of even more of his wing, I think. With about 4 laps to go, I think he can keep hold of P6. And I guess that's the best he can take out of this race, unless something else happens up front. Meanwhile, back up for the battle for second, Lickle has lost a lot of time this lap, so I guess Gamer's putting his foot down. So Lickle needs to put his foot down fairly soon to keep this gap close and to eventually go for an overtake, because he is running out of laps.
Yeah, like you say, Lickle probably wasting this opportunity. He didn't put his ERS in a high mode to keep on the back, and I think that's over for Lickle. He doesn't look like a good pace compared to Gamer. Made a mistake, and Lickle had the opportunity. As we see Lambo touch the back of Jay into turn 1, for P8, and gets away with it. Luckily, Lambo, he's got a bit of a shaky race, but he's going to come back with some solid points if he carries on the way he is.
I didn't see that, but that is a battle for P8. That'll probably happen. So yeah, the race is starting to eventually, well, the field's starting to eventually field out, as there is only 4 laps to go. Still got the battle with Lambo and the battle with Lickle, so we've still got a few battles around. It's been non-stop action, I think, for this entire race.
Yeah, it's been pretty entertaining for the first round. Australia, not the most prevalent of tracks to overtake. It's very narrow. It's a street circuit after all, and one of the things I will say to some of these drivers is just brilliant consistency from most of them. Even the likes of Rafa, I think he's only made one mistake that cost him, and he was in the middle of the battle. So even so, it has been a very good masterclass from a lot of these drivers out here. Unfortunately, a few silly people. As we watch Lambo and Jay, I think you were just about to say, weren't you, Bill?
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw Lambo go down the inside. I was about to say good overtake, and then he moved across on Jay. I thought he was going to do a cheeky side swipe for a second, but maybe not. But that's that battle done. So the other battle now is going to be between the Mercedes and the Ferrari for P2.
Yeah, I think Big C will nab Jay by the end of the race as well. Jay looks like he's absolutely burnt the rubber off the tyres.
Oh, Lickle! Game has made an error into turn 10. I think he went far wide and Lickle's got the move. I was in helicopter cam of Lickle, so I didn't see what happened to Gamer, but he's lost all of his time and lost the position himself.
Oh, well, so Lickle blocks. If you don't catch him once, you'll catch him the second time. And Lickle blocks has, and this is crunch time for the young man. I think if he wants to establish himself as a common race winner, as a dominant force in this league, he needs to keep the second position from Gamer. We know what Lickle's capable of, but we also know what Gamer's capable of. And Gamer at the moment has all the cards to play for, and Gamer will push him to his limits. So if Lickle blocks can fend off the likes of Gamer, he's got a very good chance this season.
Yeah, he does. There is 12 of the rounds to go, so we do not know what will happen. One person who's now within penalty range of Gamer is Louis, so Louis could sneak a podium on penalties, so we've got to watch out for him.
Yeah, Big C has dispatched Jacob Tex. I don't know if Big C will catch Lambo. I think he is catching him. Whether he'll have a go, maybe on the last lap. There is 3 laps remaining, of course. So maybe Big C might nab a solid 8th position even after the mistake. So if Big C hadn't made a mistake, it would have been on the back of Paco for P7. So not too much he's lost if he can gain that 8th position from Lambo. But we know who we want to watch. You know, right, Leon?
Yeah, the battle for P2. Edward or Lickle seems to be starting to get away in that middle sector. It seems to be Gamer's weakness, but down the straights seems to be Gamer's strength compared to Lickle. So this could be a battle right to the finish line. They are both now within the penalty range of Louis. If they start scrapping away, I genuinely think if they do have a hard scrap in this last, or in this penultimate lap, Louis could catch up.
Yeah. Louis actually outshined his teammate as we see Jay lose another position down there in P10. The final point, and that's it, gone. And as Cherry 2 Pie and Ash Best, the two teammates having a go, and there goes Ash Best round and
and they crashed into each other. They crashed into each other.
Yeah, they've just crashed into each other. Ash has spun and Cherry's lost it on the exit and binned it in the wall. So the McLaren duo have absolutely destroyed each other on the penultimate lap of this race. Zach Brown won't be eating donuts, he will be fuming.
Definitely.
But anyway, let's move on.
Gamer seems to be pushing it now. Lickle seems to be struggling on tyres. I think he's not the greatest on traction, as you said, so his rear tyres will be taking most of the pounding.
Just to check penalties for you as well while you carry on.
Okay, Gamer losing it through turn 11 and 12, losing a lot of his time. But meanwhile, Lickle barely has any ERS left, so this last lap, it's all or nothing for Gamer. He needs to get the move done. Unless he knows about penalties that I obviously don't know, because I don't want to check for tension-wise. But as we start the final lap with Onyx, and we start the final lap with this Ferrari and Mercedes battle with the Renault in the background not far away. The gap is 1.5. So if there is a Titanic scrap between the two here, Louis is right in behind. Not the greatest run there from Gamer. Lickle is pushing, and he's running out of ERS as well. Gamer seems so much more dominant on the brakes, which could be a problem for Lickle coming into possibly the third sector. Could be his problem. But as we finish the first sector, Lickle seems to be doing enough for now. Louis almost within DRS range of these two. It's a good run there from Lickle. All he has to do now is just keep it as he is. Louis is now within 6/10 of Gamer. He's absolutely flying, is that Renault driver. Fairly equal run from the three of them there. I don't think anything will happen. So we'll go on board with what will probably be the winner of the race. Onyx, new to F1, round 1. And he's going to win his debut in PSGL F1. An absolute brilliant drive. Unless penalties do say otherwise around the final corner come the other three. Louis not going to get him on track, but what about penalties? It will go to Gamer in second, Lickle in third, and Louis in fourth.
Yeah, just a battle obviously for P8 as well. Lambo and Big C neck and neck. Big C's been timing this to perfection to try and get past Lambo. Can he do it in the last sector? He's got brilliant traction. He's going to switch. Oh! He's killed him! Oh no, Big C in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. As Poe is going to snatch 2 positions from his grasp. Big C, I think any driver would have gone for it, but Lambo didn't pick his line, and Big C, like a Sebastian Vettel to Max Verstappen, tear is the back of the Red Bull, and unfortunately, Christian Horner, it's P8 and not P7.
Yeah, oh, there's a big crash on the main straight now, but yeah, Poe gets P10, Lambo P8, Big C P9, and Ash Best and Jay with only finishes outside the points. Wow.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
That race had a lot of things there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that. Very, very different from what we initially said, so yeah.
I got one of my podium predictions correct, not in the right order, but at least I got one correct.
I did say Lickle would win, and he did finish P2 on track.
P3.
So
P2 on track, yeah.
P2 on track, obviously P3 because of penalties. But what a drive from Lickle. I did say, unfortunately, the penalty did come in. The game was 1-1 in a way from getting one. Onyx nearly got 2. He's 1-1 away for getting 2. But no, fantastic from Lickle. Kept him behind, and I think that's the defining moment of his career in this 2019 season. Do you want to take us through the grid?
Yeah, so can you suggest the top three as well to the party?
Yeah, of course.
So, the winner of this race is Onyx, his debut in F1, I believe, and kind of blitzed the race once he had taken the lead. In second, Gamer, Dominant Drive third, Lickle, Louis fourth, Lee Finley fifth, Rafa sixth, Paco seventh, Lambo eighth, Big C ninth, and Poe 10th is your top 10, and Ash Best and Jay finished outside the top 10. Sorry for the blue screen, let me just invite the suggested. You've missed Onyx off that list.
Yeah, I don't have him as a friend. Oh wait, hold on, I'll get him on the game. There we go.
Let's see if we can get Onyx in. There we go. Let's invite him. And then we'll wait to see if the three join. I know Lickle's joined already. There's Gamer. Sweat on Onyx.
Yeah, just going through the field as you said. Personally, one of the most memorable. Bloody hell, if I can actually speak. One of the most memorable first races of the season I've come across in a long time, especially in the top division.
Yeah, Australia just seemed. Sorry, carry on.
I was going to say just a bit of a split sort of grid in my opinion. I think the top 10 were pretty flawless, a few mistakes here and there from some people, but the bottom half of the grid were pretty terrible and pretty poor. So not to be too critical because we know what happened last week, but you know, when you're the top racing league, when half the grid retires, it's not the best thing you want to see. But obviously some were mistakes, some were just people retiring on purpose, and some were obviously silly battles and silly decisions made in the race. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to interview these three lovely gentlemen, or in Lickle's case, child.
Thank you.
No, he's not. I just checked and he's not joined. I'll give him 20 seconds.
That's fine. Most of the questions anyway. Obviously, third place was Lickle Blocks. He's with us here for the podium interviews. And Lickle, just describe obviously how you're feeling first of all.
Yeah, I'm well chuffed. Certainly something I wasn't expecting. I was joking to you in the party earlier about what if I get a podium. And to go get it was quite amazing. A lot of people thought that it was the wrong decision to place me. Oh, shield up.
One of the most abrupt podium interviews. We'll come back to Lickle in a second.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're back. Carry on.
Where was I? Oh yeah. A lot of people thought it was the wrong decision to put me in F1 just about getting the slot. Big C gave me a chance, and to get a podium, yeah, something it feels like a race win to me. Really happy with it.
Yeah, it was pretty stellar. I said before the race, obviously we had predictions due to lap times and obviously the pre-season performance. Louis and Rafa were definitely the two favourites. But I said, I gambled, I said to Lee, and I says, Lickle's got it in the bag, race win, he's going for it, I can see the fire in his eyes. It wasn't a race win, but P2 on track must be a fantastic feeling, especially to hold off one of the PSGL F1 greats in Gamer.
Yeah, well, it was a good battle with Gamer. I really wasn't trying to overtake him, and I had the penalty, I knew he didn't have a penalty, so I just tried to stay behind, stay in his DRS and just dragging it on, but once he made the mistake, I thought, okay, I have to get through here, so yeah, and just went for that and didn't try anything stupid, and just carved my way through a battle impact, shall I say.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch. I'll pass you on to Leon to see if he's got any questions for yourself.
Congrats on P3. I've not really got any questions, but what was your standout moment from the race? Because obviously we weren't showing you for the whole of the race.
That's kind of, I'd say, the part where Cherry and Rafa are going at it, and I just sneaked my way past the both of them coming out of turn one.
Fair dues. I think we'll move on to gaming now.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, like I said, not to boost your ego anymore, but one of the greats in PSGL F1. First question from myself: what was your mindset going in the first stint? Because you weren't looking one of the quickest. I think Rafa had a bit of an edge, Onyx had a bit of an edge, but you just kept yourself in there in the DRS train gamer. What was the mindset in the back of your mind through the pit stops and through the first stint?
Yeah, well, I knew I wasn't onto the pace of them. Yeah, they were definitely quicker, but I knew in the DRS I could definitely keep with them. And what I wanted to do most of the race was just not get any penalties. I knew that would be quite key. I think it did hinder my pace slightly because I definitely wasn't attacking the chicanes as much as I could have been, but it worked out in the end, obviously. Yeah, I knew it was going to be around lap 8 pit stops. Saw them all go lap 7, and I knew obviously I wasn't going to undercut them by getting on the same lap, so decided to stay out and see where they joined in terms of traffic and everything. Obviously they got clean air, so pit later on, and then was hoping for a bit of the people that have yet to pit to get in the way a bit, which they did, which was nice. And yeah, I was basically just following him. It's very hard to overtake on this track, so following him, trying not to get any penalties and see where I ended up, basically.
Yeah, I've got 2 more questions for yourself. Just quickly, the interference, as you called it, or the other people on the alternate strategy, was your teammate. And obviously very forgiving to Lickle, he was, letting Lickle through, not forgiving to Rafa, but he kind of, from our perspective anyway, probably was a strategic call, you can clarify in a second, but from our perspective, kind of ruined the battle for P1, let Onyx get away a bit, because obviously he was kind of in the way, so a bit of a shame there, but was it a strategic call from Mercedes, from Toto, to make sure Big Z holds people up for you?
Honestly, no. We were both getting on with our own sort of races. Obviously, he knew I was behind then, but it wasn't like he said, "Oh, I'm going to hold these up loads," or I asked him to hold them up or anything. What I saw, yeah, Onyx got passed, and then obviously I don't know about this, but I think he let Lickle pass to try and sort of stay with Onyx. I'm not sure, but yeah, basically, obviously that didn't happen. Onyx was very quick, and yeah. I think, yeah, that's it. I don't think there's nothing planned anyway.
Yeah, like you say, Big C probably not the best for being a number 2. Did do a pretty decent job out there. Obviously, had a bit of a spin and an incident in the last corner, which you'll see on stream, which is a bit disappointing for himself. But last question from me, for both of you actually, is China, I believe, is the next race. How are you guys faring around China? We'll start with Lickle.
What's round 3? That's what I've got to say.
Nice.
Right, you gamer?
If I remember back to last time I raced there, I don't know if it was the last time, but I won there the last season, or 2 seasons ago when we raced there. I went quite well, so I'm hoping to do sort of the same thing. I like the track and I usually go okay, so I'm hoping to finish in a similar sort of position as I did today, but that's wishful thinking. Yeah, I think my pace will be okay. I think it will be similar to Australia. Hopefully and keep up with front runners.
Yeah, anything for you?
In a different class today.
I was thinking this as I was sort of going. My pace in practice was slightly better than the actual race, but that was because I was trying to avoid penalties and stuff. I think at my ultimate I could have matched him potentially, but by the time I'd got into P2 he was gone anyway, so I don't think so. If he'd have got another penalty, so he had 6 seconds, then maybe I could have kept within the 6 seconds, but obviously made mistakes and stuff, so wasn't to be.
Okay, I think that's it for round 1, unless you've got something else to say, Lordy.
Onyx has just joined,
oh.
So if you got so Onyx obviously making a very late appearance, people have lives, no? I've got my tea, I haven't eaten it yet, mate, come on. No, I'm joking, but congratulations to the Podium people, Little and Gamer, for your time and brilliant performance, especially from you, Little. You pulled that one out of the bag. But yeah, just going on to Onyx for our final podium interview. Wow, is the first thing I'm going to say. Congratulations on a P1.
Thank you.
Where did you find the pace, mate? Because you weren't the favourite going in. I think the Renaults were the favourite, as everyone would probably tell you. But you pulled it out of the bag, not just in the race, but in qualifying as well.
Yeah, since the 1.5 patch, my pace seems pretty competitive. So I did quite a lot of practice to get good lap times, and yeah, it pays off.
Yeah, like I said, you just flew away with it. Was there any doubt in the back of your mind about the guys behind, because they were clinging onto you for lap and lap and lap, and then the second stint came and it just didn't seem an end? It was relentless, especially from Rafa, who I think was the most aggressive out of everybody out there, especially giving you a run for your money. So in your opinion, do you think maybe you could have Rafa could have taken first off you, or made your life a bit more difficult?
I got overtaken in the pit stop, I don't know why, but I was 1 second ahead and he came out earlier. And then Cherry was just being a roadblock on the road for us. And yeah, I overtook Rafa back, and then he pushed me off track twice, but I stayed ahead of Rafa and overtook him. And yeah, I drove away from them.
Yeah, like you say, you just drove away, just waltzed away with it. And congratulations, like I said before, obviously to you three guys. Leon, you got anything else to add for Onyx or anybody?
First of all, congrats to you, Onyx. The one question I've got is, since in the second stint, probably towards the end of the race, you did kind of get into your own class of your own. If you stay in that kind of class of your own, do you think you have a good chance of winning the title this season?
Oh no, I don't think, but I hope I can fight for some podiums. That would be no, I don't think so.
No, I think that wraps up everything. That was round one, Australia, and yeah, these are your three podiums. We'll probably give them a bit of a message, congratulate them on the race win, and thank you again, Leon, for joining myself in the commentary booth for what's been a thrilling race.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Right.
Oh. Well, I don't know what's happened there, but yeah, it's been a pleasure me and Lordy to commentate. I don't know why it's just kicked me out of the party, but that has been it from me and Lordy, and we'll see you next week for round two.